or whatever the case might be. So, yeah, and, you know, just, I don't know, I guess I feel supported by our management right now, where I'm able to actually bring forward, well, this is my context as a Muslim woman that I'm bringing forward, this is my context as a woman, this is my context as a married woman, this is my context as, you know, like someone who has a family and, you know, has various responsibilities in that family. So, yeah.
And those are all identities too. That was into the kind of the question of what are the other identities you feel influence or shape your experiences. And you talked about your marital status, familial needs and whatnot. And that actually is really, I think, important in the next question, where I'm interested to learn about anyone, whether it's specific or groups of people you would like to mention who've played a role in your career journey. So how they've impacted, supported, and or hindered your journey. And that ties in with the, it could be seen as a part of the question after that as well, in terms of has your family, friends, and or colleagues played a role in your career decision making. So there's an aspect of the career journey, just flow, and then how you've made decisions, and if so, what role do you think they've played and why? So those questions can kind of work, because you've touched on it. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anyone who I'd mentioned played a role in my career journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that the people that I met very early on and connected with, because I was in an environment that I particularly enjoyed, which happened to be a post-secondary environment and that sort of thing, stuck with me when I went into the private sector or even nonprofit. But it was, you know, like 8 years out that I kind of thought to myself, let me, you know, kind of do what we ask, and from a career development perspective, like, take consideration of where you're at, what you liked about the different roles you've been in, and now where do you see yourself going. So I wasn't just going from position to position, but making a conscious effort towards, you know, what I wanted to do, or where I saw myself, or where I could see success, or what made me happy. So, you know, someone I knew from, you know, like when I first started working in a career center environment in a different institution, was someone I touched base with and was able to connect to someone at a different campus at U of T, but it was the stepping stone for me to start working in a campus environment again, and then, you know, naturally positions opening up and me having the flexibility to then come here to UTSC and then kind of continue my journey, and I've been here since 2013. So, you know, like it's, time flies. So it's been almost 5 years, and I'm still here, and I'm still in this department.
And it was through your networking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping those networks
through
open.
network, keeping them up, and just seeing that there was relevance to that, but it was someone that I respected. It was someone that I, you know, I admired her leadership and ability to progress in her own career and not let, you know, age, for instance, that somebody may have considered as, well, you know, how experienced can you be? You're so young. So her and I were probably very close in age. She did not identify as Muslim. She was not Pakistani. She was not, you know, like, you know, she didn't have a specific ethnicity that she, you know, identified with. But still her and I think connected. But I think now when I think about it, I think that has to do with the fact that I grew up in a very, like, white community and environment. And so I've always been in that situation. I've always been the minority, but I've always been comfortable in that because my experiences have always been very positive in that environment. So even though there wasn't a lot of diversity, the people I interacted with always, like, it was always just okay that I was different, right? And so maybe I just have this ability now to connect with someone, like, not feel like the other person, right? It's just being able to kind of slip into whether it's a diverse environment or not. But now the beauty is just being able to kind of talk to those identities if I had to. But I think maybe that's why I'm so focused on the skills and abilities, because I've never necessarily had to put the Muslim woman at the forefront of decision making.
That's very interesting. Can you talk about it's not on this, but as you're saying, that's very, very interesting. What